I'm looking at 2016-2017 report on plans and priorities under the elementary and secondary education. So your expected results and your performance indicators, First Nation students' progress in elementary and secondary education. Under this, the performance indicators, the percentage of tested students on reserve who meet or exceed standard assessment for literacy and numeracy. That all sounds great. But when I see targets, it gets really vague. It says incremental increase year after year. What are you basing this on?
I'll have to get back to you on all the details with that in consultation with my colleague from Education and Social Programs. But the targets are based on there are various measures that are used. Some of it is actually based on testing pursuant to some of the program-driven, proposal-driven programs. Some of it is based on systems where their data is actually collected on reserve, and there's a different amalgam of how we collect those indicators, and I can provide those to the committee.
Could you please? Because yep. I was looking at the 2013-2014 performance priorities, and it was the first time, I believe, that ANDC at the time had ever listed literacy and numeracy rates in Ontario region. Yeah. The numeracy rates for boys was 18%. Yeah. Literacy was 21%. I don't know if you could find literacy rates that low anywhere in the world except maybe sub-Saharan Africa. And it stated in that performance report that you weren't going to follow up anymore. So what are you testing? Because if you're talking about incremental increase after year, when people have a numeracy rate of 18%, I mean, how many centuries is it going to take to get them up to a provincial standard?
I will endeavor to provide the committee with both the tools that we use through testing, which is through, as I said, some of the program-based programming, but also the broader data collection, which has been put in place through various systems that are now being used in partnership on reserve. And the answer to your question is on how are we going to increase those outcomes. The idea is to endeavor to continue to work in partnership through that agenda and the reconciliation agenda and the program.
Okay, thank you. But I'm looking at performance indicators for those who graduate from high school. Incremental increase year after year. Yep. Number of funded students who get post-secondary, incremental increase year after year. I was a school board trustee. You know, people get fired if they came to the school board without performance indicators. You have to know that you have student success, like otherwise we're failing. So I don't know why you don't have that, because I'm looking at the 2004 Auditor General report, said absolute failure on the issues of education. Mm-hmm. 2011 said nothing had improved. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to go to incremental increases, surely to God, you must be able to provide us with something